Welcome back, old folks. This time we are talking about your generation's Taylor Swift. Just kidding, I haven't heard a single one of her songs willingly, unlike Michael Jackson. Born in 1958 in the funny state next to the one with Chicago, in the land of Gary, which is close to the land of Dave. This absolute icon of music is one of the three people who came close to being as popular as Jesus, to the point people in the Amazon knew of this man's exploits. And the weirdest of them all that are real is Moonwalker, the anthology movie made in 1988 to accompany the Bad album, which, contrary to its name, it's a classic. So, when you have a movie in the late 80s, you know what comes next: a video game! And this one was made by Sega, with the support of Triumph, although I believe their role was purely music related. Because I guess Sega wanted to substitute Alex Kidd with MJ for finding the Altered Beast guy and Sony Shoe. Released in the arcades in 1990, July in the EU, August in the rest of the world for some reason, and it's a beat-em-up run-and-gun hybrid where you control Michael and it would fit Mr. Big. I guess he just didn't sell drugs. In Ark, this inglorious, victorious, wide body like B.I.G. Notorious also kidnapped children and MJ had to rescue them.
That one didn't age quite so well.
So, before we get into the game, remember to like, sub, comment your favorite song of Michael Jackson. Mine is Smooth Criminal. And check my link tree and... Hey! Does your back hurt a lot from sitting on your chair? Does your desk look like it belongs in the landfill? Me too, which is why I had it in my bed. But you deserve better than me. You deserve a Blacklyte chair or desk, with a 4.6 out of 5 on Trustpilot and various products for your gaming setup, partnered with various creators and esports teams, like your one truly. You can trust they will bring quality to your office and give those final beautiful touches to make the perfect office setup or gaming setup to own the noobs in your favorite multiplayer game. And if you have trouble with shipping or got the wrong product, contact customer support through their website, email or even social medias about your order, and they will make sure to resolve it as quickly as possible. Use code VERLOON15 for 15% off and use my affiliate links to support my channel down below in the description, while getting you a nice discount. Now, back to the video. Without further ado, let's look at one of the most 80s thing oddities ever. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, the game. We start in the first level, the cavern. You go through a long ass corridor, killing some colorful thugs until we collect Mr. Bubbles, MJ's real, existing, still living monkey that he owns, and he turns into Robot Michael from the end of the movie, third act, or whatever you would consider it, because that movie is a mess. Since the movie is just a glorified music video collection with Smooth Criminal short film, where most of this game takes inspiration from, obviously, since the rest of the movie is either video clips or fever dreams. This stage is rather short, serving as some kind of tutorial before we enter the second level, the Amusement Quarter, which is the PG version of saying Red Light District. And this is the part that follows the Smooth Criminal short film the closest, pretty much being a recreation of it with some extra stuff added on top to not make it a one building long level. A really nice detail is that there is a small comic that transitions the stages with some kind of story thread. Fittingly, the song playing in the background is Smooth Criminal, which is one of the best things about this game. The 16-bit versions of songs. We are introduced to the henchmen in this stage, and they are really annoying. All enemies here are annoying this game was not designed with them in mind way. And they only get worse, besides these awful robots that are just really weak. When we reach the Smooth Criminal building of the video clip, we are ambushed. While we push onwards, we clean the whole building of every living soul in it, besides the kids. until you become Robot Michael again. Next up, stage 3, the streets, to the sound of Beat It. It's a really annoying stage, I hate it, but the boss is stupid easy as long as you confuse it, I guess. This level is where you see the problem with MJ's moveset metamorphoses. In a game with almost every enemy being ranged, the game gives you this glitter beam that is about as long as an Iron Man weapon when it isn't a shower. And you need to charge it up, just like in real life, to get bigger, which is not helpful when the enemies come in pairs. Meanwhile, Mecha Jackson uses laser beams and, if charged, launches missiles, which is better but still really not that great when your game is designed around hordes of enemies that take more than one hit to die. The fourth level is a graveyard and, you know, MJ has the perfect Halloween tune that has broken through the generational gap and is one of the most historically important music moments due to the legacy of its music video. Another part of me. I get it is at the end of the day supposed to promote bad, so adding songs with the name of the last album might not be a good idea for marketing purposes, but another part of me. At least choose something funny like That Girl Is Mine so I can make a joke about Paul McCartney. In fact, Paul, what does this song mean? You were married. Is MJ hitting on a married woman? Are you doing a Bill Clinton?
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Oh fuck, okay.
So we bust up the grave party, and this is the best part of the game, where I felt the reliance in Michael's special moves, the dances, which, besides starting an amazing animation with every character on screen, after the fact, kills most enemy with a variation of 3 attacks, which virtually do the same thing, but is a nice detail. Like clockwork, we transform into Iron Michael and defeat Fat Joe, who I guess isn't dead in the middle of diddly, not that we riddle some middleman who didn't do diddly, and now spawns ghosts from his new nature before running away because Michael J. Fox in a robot form is too powerful. The last stage is the Evil Fortress, where we have a reprise of Bad, the song from the first stage, which makes sense since the stage was stupid short, but you could have put Leave Me Alone in here, it would be so much cooler. We make it through the Evil Lair, and we finally defeat Mr. Big Pun and his spider mech. But unfortunately for Michael, the self-destruct sequence starts, so like any normal Iron Thing does, he turns into a spaceship and flies off before dying, just like in the movie, the end. And we get a small text screen saying what happened after the fact, but you can just watch the movie. The only big deviation this story has from Smooth Criminal's short film, besides the extra padding so it is not a 10-minute game, is the stupid amount of creative liberty with the enemies, from henchmen and gangsters, which you would expect, to zombies and clown robots, which is a bit weird, but it's the 80s and Michael is already, you know, thriller, so yeah, it kind of makes sense. Until the flame-throwing robots and generally annoying non-humanoid enemies that seem to have the life of a Dark Souls mini-boss. As you can expect, this game is like a fever dream squared. It's basically all based on Smooth Criminal short film inside of Moonwalker, which is already its own kind of fever dream that could only exist in the late 80s, early 90s. Is this game bad? Well, it's better than Altered Beast, I'd say, but not as fun as Narc. It is the literal definition of arcade filler, just fun enough to eat some of your money, not good enough to be remembered if it wasn't tied to the biggest pop star that ever was. Which makes me think, how would an early 2000s sequel be? Okay, picture me this. Michael Jackson, Moonwalker 2, this is it, the video game. You start the game in 2001 after the release of Invisible, and your mission is to defeat every studio executive, from Epic to Sony Records, while your powers are based on 80s tabloids like ha ha ha, Michael Jackson shifts into hyperspace. And we eventually get word from our friend Trump about his weird maniac called Jeffrey Epstein, and that With the power of dance, Michael saves all the kids second time by taking them to the one and only Neverland Ranch, now turned into the Neverland Kingdom by Caesar Kaiser Bubbles. While we see Eminem being tortured for the Just Lose It music video. He's dead, and Kanye released Yandy on time and saved the world. And all of it features bangers from every MJ era except when he was a kid, because we are not giving a cent to Motown. Now, this is a game worth putting out on the Dreamcast 2 in our alternative reality where MJ was alive and Sega didn't implode from being itself. Michael Jackson, Moonwalker 2. This is it. Besides that, I don't really have more to delve on. This game is your standard quarter muncher that looks good, since Sega had one of the best graphical chips at the time. Sounds great because it literally involves some of the best music ever made by our species, and is also absolutely weird and a mess that looks insane in 2026 and already looked off by the turn of the millennium. And unfortunately, singer-based games mostly never developed into their genre. The only examples I can think of is the 50 Cent games, which is kind of a shame because the gaming industry needs this kind of goofiness back. But the last we would hear of Michael Jackson in gaming are the Sonic 3 tracks that are barely released because the licensing is stupid hard, although Sega keeps insisting they don't have MJ's involvement. Sega gaslighting their fans ever since the word was invented. Also, there is the MJ dancing game, I know, but that doesn't count. They will literally do that with Prince if he died like 5 years earlier. Also, it's a disservice to this game's legacy that the Genesis version is the more popular version of the two, because this is way weirder and way more juicy than that version, but it's good that at least this game lives in the public consciousness in some way, shape or form. I've been Velun, you've been audience, and my career is cancelled, and these are case files where we explore all the gaming oddities I can find while browsing Wikipedia, or from a decade-old video that lives rent-free in my head. Don't forget to like, sub, comment, check my Linktree support channel so I can make this enough of a job to pursue my higher passions. Don't forget Blacklyte. See you next time when preferably we are not making political jokes or addressing any kind of politics so I don't get even more cancelled.
Terrorism, pestilence, poverty, pollution, worldwide oil shortage. There are even plans to use China and the US to start World War III. And all this is being done by someone who has the ability to control human minds.
Yeah, peace.
And like we all, hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.